The secret war that's been going on since the dawn of time.
We need to vote schizos into office. This is the secret war that's been going on since the dawn of time. Now, most of the world is made up of normies. Now, these people are taken advantage of very easily by psychos.
Yes.
They prey on these people, they manipulate.
Okay, we're learning.
They trick these people. Normies, unfortunately, cannot see psychos. But you know who can? Schizos.
Yeah,
The
that's
heroes
us.
Of our story. Schizos are the natural predator of psychos.
Yep.
We have pattern recognition abilities that are inexplicable. Now, schizos were once upon a time revered as the kind of wise people of their collective groups.
We're the people deemed fucking insane. And it turns out we were right about everything the whole time.
Unfortunately, since psychos run the world, they've convinced all the normies to be afraid of the schizos. I make videos sometimes online and my wife tells me, look at my aura ring. My heart rate increased to a very stressful state watching your video, and then it went back down. Sorry, babe. Psychos benefit from their lack of empathy and their attraction to cruelty, it seems, and that allows them to accrue a lot of power. That power allows them to manipulate the normie.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of normies who really want to be psychos because they think they can see the psychos. But they see the psychos as normies and they want to be like them. But really, the psychos are psychos.
Is to fear the schizo, to ostracize the schizo, to deny the schizo. It never feels very good to say I told you so when you're a schizo, and the I told you so's you're seeing are about like pedo elites running the world and stuff like that.
I want to go back to being the crazy conspiracy guy.
That feels bad when you go, well, I told you so. But schizos, wish we'd listened to you sooner. But that's my point. We need to stop fearing and ostracizing the schizo and start opening our ears and hearts to hear the truth that they're telling us. Because the conspiracy theorist schizo is almost always right. Now, yes, they'll get some of the details around the edges a little wrong. It sounds a little literal. You need to understand it as poetry and metaphor. I'll give you an example. Birds aren't real. That's a fun conspiracy theory, that they're just little listening device robots that exist. Now, there are real birds. We know that to be true. But are there also listening devices and surveillance devices everywhere, hidden in the natural world, it seems? We don't even know what the natural world is anymore. We can't even trust if the world is natural or not anymore. They're doing things without telling us. They're observing us constantly. Yes, yes. There are things in the sky that are alien to us.
I think this guy falls under the schizos category.
Flying around, that could just be drones. That's all true. One thing I've noticed, there aren't any schizo politicians I can think of. Lots of normies.
There's like 3 schizo politicians. There's John Fetterman, who's just recently a schizo. He hit his head and somehow it damaged his brain in a way that made him the most based of all of the Democrats. And you got Thomas Massey, who's all right. And then you got Ron Paul, Rand Paul. There you go. That's like the only people that I like. And I barely like Thomas Massey.
Plenty of psychos. They seem to make up our entire government. What we need to do, start supporting the schizos. We need to vote schizos into office as soon as we can.
I'm gonna run for president. I'm gonna run for president. Vote for me for president.
Let's use voting. That's a weapon. And let's start looking for more schizo candidates. Let's get some real weirdos in there. Because at this point, what they're doing, that seems pretty weird to me. They think it's too big to fail.
That's why they're just letting it be out in the open and talking about it and absolutely doing nothing about it and saying they're going to do nothing about it.